Now at 5, snow and ice on the way. INDOT trucks are already on the road to get ahead of what could lead to tricky driving conditions. Our team of meteorologists are tracking the timing and the impact for you.
But I think we're distracted and we're in a hurry, and so we maybe push the yellow light or the red light a little too far.
An increased effort to improve safety tonight. What one Hamilton County Police Department is doing to keep drivers and pedestrians safe downtown.
And then a big box with something very special inside. A lot of kids watching, but the gift was meant for just one Noblesville boy. We'll show you the surprise of a lifetime.
This is RTV6 News at 5, working for you.
Now at 5, snow and ice on the way. Thanks for joining us. I'm Mark Mullins.
And I'm Amanda Starantino. We are not supposed to get very much of either the snow or the ice, but we all know it doesn't take much to make hazardous driving conditions.
A winter weather advisory is out. Storm Team 6 meteorologists Kevin Gregory and Kyle Mounts are tracking the changes on the way. We start with Kevin on this Storm Team 6 alert day.
And we start waiting for that mixed precip to arrive. Temperature up to 30. Now, this will be the critical component over the next 12 hours, the temperature. The wind out of the east and strengthening at 17 miles per hour. What's happened since we last talked? The advisory now includes Indianapolis to Spencer and then areas to the north. So it's been dropped a little more to the south to include a little more of central Indiana, even down to Martinsville, Shelbyville, and Franklin. What you see on the radar here not reaching the ground, it's in the mid-levels but evaporating before reaching the ground. We come to the southwest, and this will close in on Terre Haute and western Indiana with some light snow at the beginning. Then I think we'll transition and have wintry mix, maybe some sleet and freezing rain for a period. As we mentioned, temperatures will be critical right at the freezing mark to the south. Temperatures at or below freezing from Indy to the north, and our wind will change direction, and that will slowly start to draw warmer temperatures into central Indiana. We mentioned generally light precip, an inch or less of snow, 1/10 of an inch of ice, and then we'll follow that up with rain for tomorrow. While we wait for the arrival, earlier in the day, Kansas City, this is the airport early this morning, as a plane on a taxiway, because of the slick conditions, the front nose gear went off of the runway and was stuck in position there. Kyle's here to talk more about our wintry mix.
And Kevin, we are going to have a little bit of ice here in central Indiana, because while we have cold air, what's going to happen, we're going to have that warmer air that moves in as we look higher through the atmosphere. So as those snowflakes melt, as they reach the ground there as some rain, they fall into that colder air we have in place, and on the surfaces create some of that icy conditions there with some freezing rain. But we're going to go through all different types of precipitation as we go through the next several hours. Now this evening may see a few light snow showers, and as we get to around 9-10 o'clock this evening, temperatures warming enough that we start to see a little bit of that light freezing rain. But as Kevin mentioned, temperatures will be warming. So as we get to around 3-4 o'clock in the morning and a sunrise on Saturday, everything will have melted, and we're talking about rain. So here's a look at TrueCast for you. 9:30 this evening, very light and scattered in the shower activity. As Kevin mentioned, very dry air is still in place. We get a little closer to midnight, we start to see that precipitation shield overspreading the area by 2 a.m. Fairly widespread here. That pink representing the freezing rain that's coming down, the green, the good old rain here. And you notice that that line continues to lift to the northeast by about 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning, and that will start to melt things and improve as we go into our Saturday. We'll have more specifics, though, on how much of that snow and ice you can expect in a few minutes.
Now to a push tonight to make one Hamilton County community safer. As you prepare to drive home from work or head out for dinner in Noblesville, police will be out in higher numbers patrolling the downtown area. Tonight, our Nicole Griffin is finding out what both drivers and pedestrians need to know.
A spokesman with the Noblesville Police Department tells me since the downtown area is so congested, they have increased the number of patrols in recent weeks. The ultimate goal is to educate drivers and encourage them to obey the traffic laws and ultimately reduce crashes.
Well, people don't pay attention. You see a lot of them go through the red lights. There's a wonder more people don't have accidents and get hit.
Eugene Clark is a regular at local restaurants in downtown Noblesville. Since he spends a lot of time in the area, he notices drivers who are traveling through the downtown streets, speeding and not paying attention.
I got hit by a semi. I was waiting to make the left turn onto 8th Street from Logan, and a semi sideswipe me.
In effort to prevent even more crashes, Noblesville police have increased their presence downtown during the morning and evening commute. They hope when drivers see more officers downtown, it will remind them to maintain a 20-mile-per-hour speed and not run red lights. Drivers we talked to are starting to take notice.
We've always seen cruisers roaming town and patrolling town. Last week, though, we noticed a significant increase in pullovers, which was kind of surprising. In fact, I think I counted one morning on the way to work, counted 9 different people pulled over just in about a 20-minute period, 30-minute period, just driving around town.
While officers focus their attention on drivers, they also have a message for pedestrians. Make sure to pay attention to your surroundings and cross the street in the crosswalks. Working for you in Noblesville, Nicole Griffin, RTV6.
And Noblesville police say it's not uncommon for extra enforcement in certain areas of the city after receiving complaints from drivers. They often conduct extra patrols out on State Road 37. Police did not say how long these extra patrols will last in the downtown area. And this is also a good time to remind you about changes to Noblesville's parking ordinance that takes effect Tuesday. They include adjusting the hours of enforcement, location of free and time-restricted spaces, and new short-duration spots. Many of these changes were suggested by downtown businesses who expressed a need for more parking. Downtown parking will be separated into 3 locations: paid parking lots, free on-street spaces, and 2 consecutive hours of free parking per day in the new tic-tac-toe board or hashtag area, which is the downtown square and 1 block away in each direction. For more information, including a map and details on the changes, you can go to cityofnoblesville.org/parking.
A big surprise from Citizens Energy today, one that will make drivers very happy. Illinois Street between McCarty and South Streets downtown reopened before today's evening rush hour. Well, this is months ahead of schedule. The stretch of road completely closed December 16th for work on the Dig Indy tunnel system. It was expected to take until July. However, Citizens says that due to good weather, they were able to get the work done much sooner. Big news for anyone looking for a job in the automotive industry in Indiana. Today, Toyota announced it will invest millions of dollars in its Southwest Indiana plant and add more than 100 jobs. The governor and Toyota executives gathered at the Princeton plant to announce an additional $700 million investment in the plant modernization project. That also means the addition of 150 more new jobs by the year 2022. This will all help meet demand for the Toyota Highlander. The plant has the capacity to assemble more than 383,000 vehicles a year. Toyota employs roughly 7,000 Hoosiers in Southwest Indiana. In addition to the plant investment, Toyota announced a $1 million commitment to a new regional workforce development program, which will connect high school students with career opportunities in advanced manufacturing.
The number of deaths in Indiana from the flu continues to climb. New numbers out today from the state health department show the number is up to 31. That is 9 more than last week. 15 are in people 65 and older. 6 are ages 50 to 64, and 10 in people ages 25 to 49. Marion County has reported the most deaths with 9. The CDC recommends everyone 6 months and older get a flu shot, and it is not too late to get a shot to provide protection this season. Metro Police are investigating a homicide on the city's west side. Officers were called for a person down near 23rd and Groff Avenue around 1:30 this morning. When officers arrived, they found a man dead on the sidewalk near Centennial Park. Police say they have very little information on what may have led up to the man's death. If you have any information, call Crime Stoppers at 317-262-TIPS.
Turning now to the historic impeachment trial of President Trump. The president is firming up his legal team, adding 3 high-profile lawyers to his defense. ABC's Serena Marshall is in Washington now with the latest developments.
With his impeachment trial looming, President Trump lamenting to the LSU Tigers national championship team about his fate.
We got a good one now, even though they're trying to impeach the son of. Can you believe that?
Well, he's already been impeached. His removal from office up to the Senate, where his trial kicks off on Tuesday. It's only the 3rd time in American history the senators...
Will all senators now stand or remain standing and raise their right hand? ...have
been sworn in as jurors, responsible for reviewing the evidence and considering the charges that President Trump abused his office and obstructed Congress. The president firming up his legal team led by White House lawyer Pat Cipollone and private counsel Jay Sekulow, and newly added to the team, Alan Dershowitz and Ken Starr, the former special prosecutor in the Clinton impeachment. One person not included, however, personal lawyer Rudy Giuliani, who told ABC News it's excellent because he's a potential witness, so he will be warming up to testify. He could be called amid the new allegations from Lev Parnas, an indicted associate of Giuliani's, who said the president knew all about the pressure campaign on Ukraine to investigate Joe Biden.
It was all about 2020 to make sure he had another 4 years.
And a new report from a nonpartisan government watchdog says the White House did break the law by withholding military aid to Ukraine, writing, "Faithful execution of the law does not permit the president to substitute his own policy priorities for those that Congress has enacted into law." The White House disagreeing with that conclusion. The trial kicks off in earnest on Tuesday when they gavel back in at 1 p.m. The majority leader is expected to introduce a resolution that will outline the rules governing the first phase of the trial. The minority leader is expected to introduce one to compel witnesses and documents. Serena Marshall, ABC News, Washington.
Still ahead at 5:30 on RTV6, they're not just bicycles, they're pedals of joy. One family's effort to give out hundreds of bikes to kids and how you can help.
But first, what's in the box? For one second grader, it's something he never imagined he would get on this day.
Here's what's on radar: snow and a little freezing rain over in Illinois. We'll talk about when it arrives here, and wait till you see how the weekend ends.
Days from 4:30 to 7.
Well, want to get your weekend off on a positive note? Just watch what happened today at one school in Noblesville. A big surprise for one little boy. That's Indiana National Guard Army Sergeant Jessica Pass giving her son Hunter the biggest surprise ever. She's been gone since February, serving in Iraq. Hunter is in the 2nd grade at Hazeldale Elementary School in Noblesville.
She said that she missed me and, I missed her and I missed her too.
He's speechless. The kids in the library today were in on the surprise, but they promised not to say a word so Hunter could get the shock of a lifetime. Hunter thought the box was filled with books.
That is amazing to
talk
see.
about a surprise.
Wow, that's great.
Well, we've just entered a new year, and with that means many have the desire to get healthier and kickstart a new routine.
As you know, we're always working for you here at RTV6, but we also want to be a part of working for a better you. RTV6's Meredith Barrick heads into the kitchen to learn the 6 things you need to know about macros.
I'm joined by Kim Galetz here, who is the founder and CEO of Refine You. She uses macros and exercises to get people into some of the best shape they have ever been in their lives. So Kim, we want to start out by just breaking down 6 things about macros and how that can help your nutrition, your diet, and your overall health. The first thing that people are probably wondering is, what are macros?
Well, macros are what makes up the calories that we eat. So every time we eat food, it contains calories. And what makes up these calories are your macronutrients, or macros. That's your fats, proteins, and carbohydrates, and that is what makes up the calories that you eat. Macronutrients are actually pretty important when it comes to weight loss and fat loss or reaching your health and fitness goals. Your body needs fuel, which is calories, and the right type of fuel to run, which is your macronutrients, your carbs, your fats, and your proteins.
How do you figure out how much protein, carbs, and fat your body needs? I mean, everyone is different heights, different weights. How do you figure that out?
Right. So that's the tricky thing. So when you're thinking about doing a macro plan, like you said, everybody's different. Everybody's unique. Everybody has their own set of goals. Your gender needs to be taken into account, your body type, and your activity level. In my opinion, it should be done by a well-trained professional, taking into account all of these things because everybody is different. There are some calculators online out there that you can use and things like that, but again, those don't really take into account the individual specifically. Right. To get the best bang for your effort, you want to eat nutritious foods and healthy nutritious foods most of the time. But the good thing about it is because you're keeping track of those things, you can kind of have your cake and eat it too. You can work in those treats occasionally and you can still get results. So a good balance between getting some cardio workouts in as well as strength workouts in and supporting those workouts with your nutrition. Somebody who is not working at all overall needs different nutrition than somebody who is working out, let's say, 4 to 5 days a week. So kind of combining your food with your workouts and fueling your body appropriately with the right nutrition for the activity of the day is key to, especially targeting those layers of stubborn fat. If you have 100 pounds to lose, or if you don't want to lose any weight and you just want to gain muscle, counting your macros can work for everyone, and it's very sustainable.
Working for you, Meredith Barrick, RTV6.
And to learn more about macros and refine you, we've put more information on the IndyChannel.com.
Kevin Gregory joins us now with the forecast, and it's getting cold.
Eventually getting warmer, though.
Okay.
Just for the next 12 hours. That's the thing right now. We're into, instead of macro, microcasting.
Right,
in other words, these little windows. It doesn't look like you'll get exercise shoveling. I don't think we're going to have snow that we need to shovel, because even if you get an inch or something, just wait and it'll melt.
But we'll see it fall.
It'll melt off. Yeah, visually, it will be here. Okay, especially in the western portion of the state. As we pointed out earlier, the advisory, which goes till 4 in the morning in Indy, areas north 7 a.m., has been dropped to the south, including Terre Haute to Spencer to just north of Greensburg this evening and overnight. As you can see, very light potential for accumulating ice, and in most cases 1/10 of an inch or under, and that's what's expected across central and northern Indiana as far as our snowfall potential. As you go north, if you're trying to head towards South Bend, lower Michigan, Chicago, they'll see cold enough temperatures for an all snow event basically, whereas our totals get cut down under an inch because we'll see that wintry mix. What are we looking at now? We're dry now. Remember, this is just kind of in the mid-levels of the atmosphere, not reaching the ground. The darker blues and the pinks represent that wintry mix, and I would say, an hour or two from Terre Haute along Interstate 70. This stretches back into Missouri, and we'll wait on its arrival this evening. Temperatures, they're critical, 33 in Sullivan and Bedford. I think when the onset arrives, some of these temperatures may get colder by a degree or two. It will take the wind shift out of the east to come out of the southeast and warm these temperatures above freezing. That will happen around midnight or after for most of us. 7 o'clock tonight, a little wintry mix, some snow at the beginning, mixing maybe with a little sleet. Then you'll see a more pronounced period as we get later tonight. Join us at 11 o'clock. From 11 to the early morning hours is when we expand the window for some light freezing rain. That's the pink. The green then replaces that. We wake up in the morning having pushed the freezing rain from Peru to Muncie and Richmond northeast, and the rain expands for the rest of central Indiana. Eyes on the temperature. Below freezing at 7 o'clock, 11. Some spots at or above freezing south. To the north, you're still in the 29 to 30 degree range. Overnight, temperatures come above freezing, and we wake up tomorrow morning with temperatures in the upper 30s to low 40s. We'll make a quick rise into the 40s, about 47, 48. But look what happens. The warmer it feels tomorrow, the much colder the impact will be as we get to Sunday. Rainfall on the other side of this. 1/2 inch to an inch of additional rainfall during the day tomorrow. Once the cold temperatures settle in, they settle in for a little bit. Temperature 12 degrees Sunday morning, 19 for the high, wind chills at or below 0. Monday, temperatures in the teens, highs only 22, but you can see the trend. We slowly take a step each day in a warmer direction, above freezing and well into the 30s Wednesday, well into the 40s by Friday.
Just got to get through the worst of it.
Yeah, just be careful tonight. Again, I think conditions won't deteriorate until probably after 7 or 8.
All right. Thank you, Kevin, for that. Well, we promised you details, and now we have them. Brooks and Dunn, Rascal Flatts, and many more included on the country concert mega ticket when they go on sale, and who else is coming? Next.
Keller and Keller.
Just into the RTV6 newsroom, details on the 2020 Jiffy Lube Country Music Mega Ticket for several big concerts at Ruoff Music Center.
Yeah, tickets go on sale next Friday, January 24th at 10 a.m. Here are the concerts. Brooks and Dunn on May 16th. Chris Young, May 29th. Thomas Rhett, June 5th. Rascal Flatts brings their farewell tour here on Thursday, June 11th. And Lenny Antebellum, July 18th.
Also, Kenny Chesney on July 23rd, Jason Aldean August 2nd, and finally Tim McGraw on September 25th. The mega ticket guarantees you the same reserved seat at each concert. Those are all awesome concerts.
And seems simple enough. Get your seat.
Yes.
All new at 6 p.m. here on RTV6, a plan to get more kids adopted in Indiana. The steps the state is taking to make the adoption process easier and faster.
But first on the now, Indy planning on doing a little remodeling this spring. What home improvements the experts say will get you the best return on your money. You're watching RTV6.